Hello there and welcome back. In this video we're going to be working on our manage orders system some more, and I have to tell you folks that I think as I look back that I've probably made life quite difficult here, because when we look at the store orders thing, we look at the store orders table, in fact, we do not have a customer ID, and that kind of bothers me. Now I know that we can find a customer ID by going to the store shopper track, and then we'd look at the session ID, and then we'd look at the store accounts and all of that. Okay, yes, we can do that, and it's a very super normalized vibe. However, I think it makes things complicated on an SQL front. So the punchline is, I have decided to add a couple of tables to store orders. Okay, let me just show you. In fact, I'll do the changes right now. I did this before coming on, but we'll just start again. It's all cool. So the vibe is, I would like you to add two columns. The first column, I'm talking about store orders here, right? So we're going to add two columns right on the end. I'll do it with you here, folks. The two columns I want you to add are shopper ID, which is an integer, and the next column is going to be MC underscore gross. Okay, that's going to be a decimal, and it's going to be 72. Okay, so add those two columns on. Now, I'm sure you know what shopper ID is, but some of you are wondering what on earth is MC gross. Well, you know how PayPal submits lots and lots of variables back to the website? Pardon me. Well, MC gross happens to be one of those variables, and as luck would have it, it represents the total amount that has been paid. So not the amount minus shipping or tax or anything like that. It's basically like, here is the total value of the order. Now, we can obviously figure that out by going into the PayPal table and extracting from that and all of that stuff. Yes, hello, we can do that. And in fact, we can also do a similar thing with the shopper ID, but it's a lot of hassle, so I'm going to just add those two columns. Can you handle the vibe? I think you can. So let's do a little bit of work on the PayPal IPN, and we'll get those two variables coming in. This is definitely gonna make life much easier. So here we go. Let's open up the PayPal IPN. Yes, indeed. And we'll go to the IPN listener. Here it is here. And as we loop through this stuff, you'll see a vibe that says if key is custom, then, do some stuff. I'm going to add another if here. I'm going to say if key is equivalent to MC gross. Remember, that's that very important variable. It represents the total amount that's came in. And if that's the case, I'm going to say actually, I'm not going to do anything of the kind. Here's what we're going to do. Forget about PayPal. Forget about PayPal. Do you see how we've got store orders, auto-generate order? That's where the action's going to be. So I'm sorry, cancel, do not save, cancel. Let's open up store orders. Okay, auto-generate order. Here we go. This is the one. So what I'm going to do is extract the get the gross thing from PayPal. Okay, so I'll just say function, we'll make a private one, get MC underscore gross, and it's going to do that by taking in a PayPal ID. Okay, so find out the total amount taken in. That's the vibe. Thank you. From this order. Okay, so how does that work? Well, we're going to say this, load module PayPal. We're going to say query equals this, PayPal get where PayPal ID. We're going to loop through the results for each query, loading up result as row. Then we're going to say, now if we have a quick look, a quick reminder, if we have a look at the PayPal table, you'll see that we've got posted information, okay? So posted information equals row posted information, okay? And now I'm going to say posted information equals unserialized posted information. And now I'm going to say MC gross equals, and the MC gross is going to equal posted information MC gross, okay? Now let me just test this. MC gross, we'll echo it out and do a die statement, right? So in store orders, I'm going to do a little test thing here, and I'll say that the PayPal ID is 1, okay? So I'm just testing it here, and I'm just going to say this get MC gross, and we'll do it with that PayPal ID. So here we go, I'm testing the vibe. Can you handle it? Testing the vibe, okay? So store orders test, here we go. And as you can see, it has brilliantly given us the total amount taken in, which was 2 pence in this case, okay? Now you could say you could say something like, if not is set posted information, then MC gross equals 0, okay? And then we could do an else statement, and we could chuck this inside our else statement like so. Yes indeed, here we go, here we go. So that means we're going to avoid errors, and we just return MC gross, okay? Obviously we do not need this stuff here. So that's kind of nice, right? We can now get the gross stuff. It's very cool indeed, very cool indeed. I'm also going to build a thing on store orders underscore get shopper ID, and it's going to get the shopper ID from the customer session ID. And the way that this is going to work is it's going to say this load module store basket, okay? And we're going to say query equals this store basket get where custom, and we're going to get where the session ID is. You know what's coming up is the customer session ID, okay? Pretty easy. And for each query, loading up result as row, I'm going to say shopper ID is row shopper ID, okay? And to avoid any errors, I'll just say if not is set shopper ID, then shopper ID equals 0, and then I'm just going to return the shopper ID. Okay, simple as that, folks. So have a look at this. We can get the MC gross, we can get the shopper ID. So when we are generating this order, we can say data MC, let's do the shopper ID first. Data shopper ID is this, and it's going to be get shopper ID, okay? Passing in the customer session ID, okay, that's it, we've now got it. And then data MC gross equals this get MC gross, and what do we pass in for that? You remember, it's the PayPal ID. So here we go, no problem, okay? Pretty cool, pretty cool, excellent. So we've now added shopper ID and MC gross onto our store orders table, okay? Now if we look at the store orders table here, you'll see that the shopper ID and MC gross is 0, okay? I'd like you to do a little update if that's cool. Let's update store orders, and we'll set shopper ID equals 1, comma MC gross equals 0.02, and just to be cool, I'm going to say order status equals 1, okay, just to kick things off. So try that, okay, And now we should have quite a healthy store orders table. Everything's looking good. Excellent. So, shall we begin with the video? Okay, here we go. I'd like you to sign in as an administrator, if that's cool. So there we go. Okay, and it's going to be admin password. And previously we managed to get this thing working in a sort of basic way, you know. If we click in here, nothing's going to come up, but we've changed the status to 1, do you remember? So if we just click on order received, you should see all those orders coming up and everything is just fantastic. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a query that gives us the order status and the customer name as soon as this page loads up. Okay, now PHP is so fast that you could actually go in each and every one of these and do individual queries, and provided you limit yourself to 20 rows per page, I think you'll still have the page loading in under a second, which is okay, right? However, if we do a table join, then that's the difference between a page that takes like 0.8 of a second or 0.08 of a second. Can you handle the vibe? So I'm going to do a table join, right? Let me just bring up Navicat here, and I'm going to show you how this works. I'm going to get the query builder. We'll take store orders. Now, if you do not have Navicat, or maybe you don't even like Navicat, you should go to the Insider Club discussion forum. Head on there. There's people talking about other software that you can use, alternatives. I think some of them are free actually. So do that. It's going to make life much easier. Okay. So store orders now links to store accounts. Is that not the coolest thing ever? And also we have got store order status as well. Okay, so if we now take this shopper ID, we can link to store accounts like so. And if we take this order status column, we can link to store order status. And now all we have to do is basically just tick the things that we want. So I'm going to have the ID. There's probably no harm in having the order ref now that I think about it. We'll have date created, we'll have opened, let's have that MC gross, that'll come in handy. And then we'll take first name, last name, company, and the status title. Okay, so if we now look here, we've got a big giant query, and that's kind of cool. Don't forget there is going to be a where statement and an order by. Okay, so if you look at the generate MySQL query thing, you'll see that we have this vibe here, where blah blah, you know. So I'm going to just paste this in like so, and I think we do like capital letters sometimes when things like that. So where store orders dot order status equals blah blah, in this case it'll equal 1, right? Order by store orders dot date created descending. That is the query. And when this runs, you'll get something like this. Look at all the glorious data. It's fantasticola. So there is the query, and hello Honolulu. Okay, so I'm gonna chuck this query. We'll get rid of this old one here. It's a bit too simplistic. Okay, and I'm gonna say if order status is greater than 0, then the MySQL query equals all that stuff. And don't forget to change the order status to an order status variable. And if you can, tab in, and it makes everything look kind of nice, you know. So there you go. If the order status is greater than 0, we do that. Otherwise, we're going to have to do a different query. Why? Because there is nothing on store order status. There is nothing here. Let me bring it up actually. If I go select all from store order status, right? Here we go. There is nothing with an ID of 0. Okay? So basically what we're going to do, if I bring this query builder back, if the thing happens to be 0, then I'm going to forget about this table here, and that's going to be the query, a slightly different query. Okay, so here we go. It's going to be MySQL query equals, and I'm going to chuck this in like so, and let's tab this thing in. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Tabbing, yes, thank you very much indeed, thank you very much indeed. And that is pretty cool. I'll just change this to order status, and there we go, right? Excellent. So we've now got 2 queries giving us everything we need. If the order status is greater than 0, we're going to query that order status table. Otherwise, everything is cool. So all we need to do now is go to store, orders, browse, and we can get things going here, right? Now, if you go to store accounts, you'll see that there's a thing, get customer name. Can you see that stuff there? Okay, so the way that this works in get customer name is basically this stuff here. Okay, now I don't want to run this query every time, so I'm going to do a function at the top of the page. In fact, I'm sure we did this before. Let me just check here. Did we not have get customer name? I think we did. Let me just check. Let me just check. Maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, no worries. Anyway, regardless of whether we got that or not, I'm going to do a PHP function right at the top of this page here. Okay, right at the top of this page. And it's going to look something like this. Function get customer name. And it's going to take in first name, last name, and company. Okay, so it's just an ordinary PHP function here. Notice that it does not load up store orders, which is going to help. You know, we want things to be nice and fast here, and this should be fine, right? So I'll ditch those data things, or something like that, and there we go. So that is going to return the customer name. Okay, and it will do so without querying store accounts. Okay, so it's all about the speed, folks. It's all about the speed. So as we do this loop here, let's just say that I'll close this. Let's just say that first name is row first name, last name is row last name, company is row company, and then I'm going to say customer name is, and then that's where we say get customer name, passing in the first name, the last name, and the company. Okay, that's good. Excellent, excellent, excellent. And I'm going to say that if row, now let me get this right, if we look at the results here that are coming in, we've got ID status title. Okay. Okay, I'm going to say, here we go, if is set row status title. Okay, then order status equals row status title. Okay, so that's for orders with an ID greater than 1. Otherwise, order status equals order submitted. And that means that the order status is 0. Okay, so that's that. That's looking good. Yes, indeed. And here we go. So the customer name is going to go in here. And the order status is going to go in here. And I'm just going to hit refresh, folks. Okay, and everything looks absolutely fine. Oh, let's add in the gross, the MC gross thing. That would be really cool as well, right? So in fact, let's do the order reference. Man, this is going to be awesome. Right, here we go. So let's do that, right? So we'll do order reference, right? I'll just say order ref, and then in here we'll do the order value, we'll call it, right? Order value, and this is really easy because all we have to do is a little td and say row order ref, okay, and then right down here td row order value. Okay, let's refresh the screen. Oh, sorry, it's not order value, it's row MC gross, of course. MC gross, here we go. Okay, that's excellent. Now we could query site settings, add in a currency symbol, you could number format and all of that stuff, but folks, we have to move forward, man. This is taking ages. I know that this is going to make this a long video, but I'd like to move on to this page if that's okay and do the view orders. Is that cool? Or shall we do 2 videos? What do you reckon? Talk to me telepathically. Right, I think you want to do 2 videos. Okay, fair enough. I'll see you in the next video.